Buenos dias. Welcome to the latest instalment of the Wish You Were Here series. Again, I'll lay the rules out very quickly if you've never watched one of these before. We have 45 minutes on the clock and we're going to go start in our hotel room, walk out and give you a true, authentic experience of what it's like to be in this place right from the get-go. And so, this is our room for the night. How much are we paying here?
We are paying around £11 per night, but if you have the taxes, it's around £13 per night.
Okay, so £13 a night, and we've got for that money a single bed. We don't use it, but it's great for putting the bags and things on. Nice big bed here. It's a little bit hard, but actually nonetheless quite comfy and cozy in here during the night. Wi-Fi is great. We've got a TV, but we don't use it. Plenty of power outlets, and this place, unfortunately, has had some regular use recently because I've been suffering with a bad belly. But yeah, very great. We've got nice hot water, and there's not much more to say about that.
Really?
Yeah, but let's go. So we're going to take you out now into Amritsar. We're a little bit on the outskirts, so we're going to have to get a rickshaw, but we'll show you the full journey. Come with us.
For the keys.
Keys are in the door. It's locked.
Oh, there? Only one. Okay. I travel through the door.
The black magic. Seamara is still learning. Comes from the jungle. Yeah, that's actually the first hotel we've seen where there's been evidence of them changing the bed sheets. It's very common, seemingly in India, especially with more budget places, that sheets don't get changed.
Morning.
Morning. You almost get stumped by the door as well. They don't have, look at this, Australia. They don't have locks on tents in the jungle, do they?
No, they don't.
So the area that we're in now is maybe 5 or 10 minutes on the outside of the old city, but to be honest with you, we've walked it a couple of times and it's been fine. It's a squashed rat.
Lots of rats.
Yeah.
Rats everywhere.
But the walk has been fine. We've actually enjoyed it, and we may even do another video later today, coming back this evening, just to show you that the walk is fine. There's nothing to be scared of, honestly. But we're coming through here now. We'll make it out onto the main road, and from there we'll grab a rickshaw. You'll see it's very easy to do, quite easy to get the price, and the journey is nice. One thing you may note from this video, which will be different from a lot of videos you've seen from Amritsar, is just the weather. It's a nice welcome this morning. But yeah, it's the weather. Most of the videos I've seen from Amritsar have actually been very sunny and very hot, but we're in the midst of the winter currently. We're in January 2023 and it's chilly. We're in the northern part of India and it's very fresh. So you'll see it's quite smoggy. Typically I'd say it's pollution, but here at the moment it's a lot of it is fog. We went to the Golden Temple yesterday, and despite it being beautiful and golden, the colour is definitely dull because of the fog. So we'll make our way up here now. We're not going to get a rickshaw from this point because we want to be heading in that direction. You see the traffic is heading in the other, so we want to pick it up past this junction. Now throughout this video, we'll obviously show you where we're going, but We'll also kind of fill you in on a little bit of information about Amritsar, what it's well known for, and a little bit of the history from here as well, because it's quite, yeah, it's had a historic past. Just have to wait for a minute because these lights, unlike many others, do have a timer on them. So normally when we come past here in the evening, there's a policeman actually monitoring the road. He's stopping and enforcing the traffic, but currently at the minute it's free flow for the rickshaws. Maybe we can actually pick one up from over here, take a walk over, maybe one will come past. There's one a little bit further up the road, one where will spot us. Vamos. Okay, let's try and not get run over. So the outskirts of the city, you'll see, are much alike with any other Indian city. But Amritsar itself, what stands out is that this is the most prominent place for the Sikh faith. So the spiritual home, if that's what you'd like to call it, of Sikhism is here in Amritsar, with the Golden Temple, which is the most important spiritual site, call it a pilgrimage site if you will, but it basically holds the 11th guru of Sikhism, which in this case is not actually a person, but is the manuscript or the scriptures, the holy book. The 10th guru of Sikhism actually declared not a new guru to take over as in terms of an individual or a person. He actually passed that responsibility onto the book itself, and so that book is kept here in the Golden Temple. At the moment we're not having any joy with rickshaws, but we can flag one down here on the corner, and from here we don't know the correct normal price, but we've been paying anywhere between 100 and 150. I will say that you do have to be very careful with the rickshaws here, because they have a habit of discussing price per person. So you have to be very clear whether the price they're mentioning refers to the journey for the whole or per person. At the moment we've got no rickshaws coming. Maybe we just have to keep walking. Let's go over to the other side here and see if we can flag one down. It's funny, you know, because everywhere we go, where? Golden Temple, how much?
Golden Temple?
Yeah.
200.
200? No, too much.
150.
150 for both? For both? No, 150? No. 150 total? Total, okay. Okay. So you see what I'm saying, you've got to be very clear about whether that applies per person or for the total. We've been caught with that a couple of times, unfortunately.
First day very funny because we have a rickshaw and then we say to the person, can you please take us to a hotel to Bahajan Street? And then this person said, yeah, how much was that? 100, right? Or 50 rupees. And then once the guy dropped us off, we didn't have change. So we gave him 100 rupees and then he took all the money. He took it all.
Yeah, but right, it's happened here. So for instance, yesterday we got a rickshaw to the same place and he said 50 per person. So I said 100 total. And he said, yeah. And then I get there, I give him the 100, and he said 150. So I was like,
You need to be very specific to don't find it.
well, you see we're on our way now. Roads are busy. So we got told the other day to be quite careful sticking your hands out. Now, of course, you've got to be careful doing that anyway. You don't want to injure yourself or get hurt. Not to Wagga border, no, not today. You got to put your hands out, not put your hands out, sorry, just to be careful. But we also got told that there's been a few instances of people, you know, grabbing things. Haven't seen any of that. I think you have to have quite bad luck, but you've always got to be careful. What we did see yesterday was a guy in the street who got caught stealing. He had a big blanket around him, basically keeping himself warm. Someone grabbed him as he was trying to run away, and it turned out he'd stolen some lady's bag, and he was hiding it under the blanket. And there was, public, what's the word I'm looking for? Punishment. Yeah, they grabbed him, they were kind of giving him a decent beating. And then one of the policemen came over, and then another man came over with a big sword. And they took him into a room, and we could hear, it sounded like he was kind of being tortured.
Yeah.
I think he was getting a few punches, but there's public retribution if you do anything bad here. So what I mentioned to Siamara before the India trip is, look, if anything bad happens, shout it. Don't let people get away with it. If you shout, people will come to help you. They really will. So things happen, of course they happen, but be very clear, shout up if something does, and people are here very helpful. Coming in to the old part of the city through one of the gates. I'm not sure, I believe there might be 12 of these gates taking you into this old walled city. So that's exactly what it was. It was a city that was a fort, had a wall around it, and obviously over the many years it's expanded. This area of Amritsar is where we were brought straight from the train from Rishikesh. The taxi driver said he knew a hotel and he brought us down here, and it's in this area where we stayed. So despite the hotel not being tremendously good, it's in an excellent location. You're anywhere down here, you're very close to the city. You're well within walking distance. But around here, there are lots of shops selling electronics. So if you're a local person, you want to buy TV, washing machine, that kind of stuff, you come down here and get it. Yesterday, I actually bought a new shaver. So I don't know whether you've seen from the videos, but my beard has been getting quite out of hand. I've not been able to shave it for the last 3 months because the power cable for my shaver, I left it in Europe like an idiot. Now I've been letting it grow, but it's well out of hand. So I bought a new shaver here yesterday. It cost me 450 rupees, which is £4.50, so like $5, $50, $6, something like that. So very good value. Yeah, anywhere here is fine. No, we're just here is fine.
Thank you. Right.
Okay, so we're now in the main square of Amritsar. This is where you'll get dropped off by your tuk-tuk, by your rickshaw, because further in, they're not actually allowed. There's a part of the city which is quite pedestrianised, so we'll make our way in now and expect to be approached by many people. Let's go. No, thank you. So one of the attractions, aside from the Golden Temple here in Amritsar, is the Wagah border. So very close to here, maybe 15 miles or so, is the border with Pakistan. And so you can make a trip there, and there's a very well-known ceremony. I forget what they call it, but basically it's a ceremony between the Indian army or the Indian border guards and the same on the other side with the Pakistani ones. So there's a big stadium, you get to watch this ceremony. It's meant to be really, really impressive. So you'll get lots of people coming up to you here, basically trying to sell you a taxi or a service to get to the border. So if you want to do that, it's very easy to arrange. We haven't done it yet, but we plan on doing that later today. The ceremony for the ceremony, yeah. I believe at this time of the year is around 4:30 in the afternoon, but you've got to get there an hour before to find a seat, and then it takes an hour itself to get there. So we want to be leaving for that around 2 p.m. So we may even arrange that in a bit in this video, we'll see. One thing that I've absolutely loved being around here is that in the Sikh faith, the prayers are done with music. So it's really nice to kind of be around here and just listen to the, I don't know what you call it, chants, or yeah, just prayers or hymns playing in the background. It's, yeah, it's really nice. There's a really nice feel to it. And we particularly enjoyed being here because the people in this area, they're very nice, very welcoming. Sikh people are well known for their all-inclusive attitude. You know, their religion itself is one that respects people from everywhere, of every religion. And so everyone is very welcoming. There are lots of smiles, lots of nice people greeting us. Of course, as with everywhere in India, you do get the odd person who doesn't respect the boundaries. So we've had a few people trying to take selfies with us without permission and things like that, but on the whole, the people here have been very nice.
They are very helpful. People in here always want to help. They see you struggling, searching for a direction of something, they come to help you and try to direct you. So it's really nice.
Well, as you've seen with Xiomara and the key incident, she needs lots of help. Now, in terms of Amritsar, this is the home of the Sikh faith, or Punjab, shall we say. I'm not going to say Amritsar, but Punjab, this region of India, is the home of the Sikh faith. And proportion-wise, I believe, don't know the exact number, but I believe it's about 50% of the people here are Sikh. The Golden Temple itself, as with the Sikh faith, is welcoming to all religions. So there seems to be a level of harmony here. But of course, over the years, there's been persecution against the Sikhs, and there's been fighting between different religions in India. Seems at the moment, from our experience walking around here, that, you know, things are harmonious. But yeah, there is recent history, you know, going back to the 1980s, where the Indian government basically massacred a number of Sikhs inside the Golden Temple. But yeah, you see this fountain here, I'm not sure of the name, but it's incredibly impressive. Marble fountain, lots of water of course, because it's a fountain. But the statues here are very impressive. Yeah, these Sikh warriors up on their horses. There's a number of these as well over by the Partition Museum. Well, let's make our way through. Let's go through the old streets. We'll take you through the market, or would you like to go straight to the Golden Temple?
Let's go to the no. Let's go to the markets, and then we can go through the markets to the Golden Temple.
Okay. So for reference, if you're at this point, the Golden Temple is actually very close. Unbeknownst to us a few days ago, we came here just exploring, and we ended up getting lost in the maze in the market. But you can go directly down that street and turn right, and that is the Golden Temple. But we're going to make our way through here, perhaps a little bit more local, a bit more of an authentic experience. Don't get me wrong, the Golden Temple is completely authentic. I'm not trying to say it's not, but perhaps these are roads less travelled by foreigners. The Golden Temple, I believe, may even be the most visited attraction in the whole world. Certainly in India, many more people come here than even the Taj Mahal. I believe it's 100,000 people a day. Now, not all of those are tourists. Many of them are obviously just people from this area that go there for worship. Go there, they treat that, you know, their local community place where they see their friends, where they go to relax. Very noisy down here, so bear with me if you can't hear me. Stand still. Always the trouble with these narrow streets in India, that sometimes you can get a little bit jammed. People are jostling for space, and so we've been down a couple of these where they've actually been at a standstill. There's been a blockage because two rickshaw drivers are fighting for the same space. And you do have to be a little bit careful, but our time in Nepal and in Kathmandu in particular has well prepared us for it. We know what it's like to dodge a scooter up the bum, don't we?
Professional drivers now.
I will say that in Amritsar, there's been, let's go this way. In Amritsar, what we've noticed and is very few international foreigners. When I say international, I mean, you know, European, American, white people, basically. We haven't noticed any whilst we've been here in Amritsar. And typically that would mean that you get a level of attention. But as you can see walking through, you know, there's a level of curiosity. People look at you, they smile at you, they wave at you, but there's not really anyone bothering us, which has been very nice. It's been honestly quite a nice surprise. Some building work going on here. I always love coming through these little streets in India, because you just see how things just get built and built and built and built, and you've got this kind of mix of ancient buildings and the modern infrastructure with all the wires, and they make it work. It's really interesting. You come down these streets and you get a little sense of, you know, the Indiana Jones in you, the explorer. True life revolves around these streets, around these markets here in India. You'll find everything down here, from clothes to food to snacks and drinks, jewellery. You'll find hotels down here as well, and you'll find just normal businesses for local people, so maybe selling insurance or fixing bikes. Or what are you saying?
It's quite quiet today. Like, you can see that most of all the shops are closed. I don't know
what day is today?
We came too early, but it's very.
I don't think we came too early. What time is it now?
Like around, I don't know. Let me see.
Hello? What?
Dead end there is.
What is it?
There is dead end.
Oh, dead end.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So can we go this way?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So you said that 12:05. Yeah. I was saying to see Amara yesterday, we've had a few days here now where we've not been getting up early enough, and we said tomorrow we're going to get up early, and it resulted in us leaving the house at 12 o'clock. There's it. There's a bit of a stink down here. No, we're not. There's no such thing as a wrong place.
But I know about.
Look at this door. Wow. See what I mean? Like, you can just look up. Be careful looking up because you don't want some bird poo in the mouth. But the buildings are incredible. They're beautiful in their own right. They're worn, but you can see that once upon a time, you know, there's a real level of care with these buildings. Like, they put, look at the details, you see? You don't get modern buildings like this anymore. Even the doors. As someone who's an enormous fan of architecture, I find it quite sad that with modern buildings that just the most efficient design will do. Look at this. What was here once upon a time? Can you imagine the amount of work that's gone into making this building? This old door. My personal opinion, hence making these Wish You Were Here videos, is that you really get to know a place the best just by going and walking, exploring. The Golden Temple, the Taj Mahal, you know, any kind of place like that, anywhere in the world, they're very impressive places, very important. But do you get a feel of America by going to see the White House? No, it's a great experience, but it's not going to tell you all about that country. Coming down these little streets and seeing the real community, that is what will tell you everything. That is what will leave a lasting impression with you. So I encourage it. Thank you. I encourage you to do it. A question that I seen pop up yesterday on Reddit was from a girl who was saying that she was considering coming to India as a solo traveller and if it was safe. And the consensus among 99% of the people was that it was not safe for a solo female traveller. And despite me lauding India and praising it for its uniqueness and for all the great characters it's got, I would happen to lean on the side of agreeing with that statement. I'm not sure how comfortable I would feel if Siamara, for instance, said that she wanted to come to India for a month on her own. Even with me at her side, walking down the street, there are occasionally, and I don't want to label the country as a whole, but there are occasionally some comments made. So yesterday we were walking down the street, and literally I'm stood right with her, and this guy's going, "You are so beautiful." And we were actually in Rishikesh a few days ago, and I got talking to a group of guys, and they were all really nice, really friendly, and they were like, "What's your Instagram and stuff?" And it was funny because then they all started adding Siamara's private Instagram and started sending her messages, started saying, "You're so beautiful." It's like, come on, you got to respect the boundaries. And so that's one thing which from both of my times in India I've noticed. So as a solo traveller, solo female traveller, yeah, I would err on the side of caution, but certainly in a group or with your partner or anything like that, you'll be fine. Now this, where are we?
We are in the Golden Temple. So yeah, this is the outside, this is the front part. And then before you go inside, you need to do like a ritual. So you need to go and leave your shoes in one side, walk all the way here, wash your hands, wash your feet, and then until then you are able to go inside.
Siamara was super happy when we had to come here yesterday and I had to physically wash my feet. Siamara was Really pleased with that because she's forever saying there's a funny smell. I think it's just the general environment personally, but but yeah, this is one of the entrances, and I say one of. I think there are a few different entrances around, but
The main one.
yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? So the Golden Temple, this is not actually the Golden Temple. The Golden Temple is inside. Maybe you probably won't be able to see it with the GoPro here because the view it provides is too wide. But maybe we can get close enough. There's no filming allowed, it transpires, inside the Golden Temple. Unbeknownst to us when we tried to make a video there yesterday. But yeah, this carpet here, this leads down to where you deposit your shoes. You wash your hands in here, and then your feet are actually washed as you walk through a little pool on the way in. And the water was actually really nice and warm, wasn't it?
Super warm. It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy nice.
Do you think the water was warm, or do you think the floor was just so cold?
No, I think that the water was warm.
Yeah.
And then I think that you can see a little bit the golden.
Yeah, I hope you can see it. So inside, that's the Golden Temple right there. Beautiful, beautiful building. It's made with real gold. 750 kilograms of gold apparently to plate it. But yeah,
I was just wondering if maybe they actually change the water every day, or they just leave the same water.
I think so. I think they're quite fanatical about that, aren't they? Like, what I noticed was when we were inside the grounds of the Golden Temple yesterday, the lake, the pond, the water tank that's in the middle, they're very careful with cleaning it. There was a man on a boat and he's basically pulling a piece of bamboo to kind of skim off the dirt from the surface. There was fish swimming in there, so you know the water itself is very clean. So yeah, I would imagine where you wash your feet, it's clean. But we'll take a walk up here. So yeah, the filming situation. Now, we didn't know this because, of course, we've seen other videos on the Golden Temple and we were very excited to come in and show you. I haven't looked through the footage I recorded yesterday, so what we captured and what we can make with that, I don't know. This video will, of course, come after that, so hopefully you've been able to see something interesting. But yeah, basically, we went in, there were guards on the entrance with big spears. They were friendly, they were nice. I walked in with the GoPro, no problem at all. And then we were inside and I walked for a bit and we were all good, weren't we? No problem at all. People were taking videos themselves and all this kind of stuff. But then one guy came up and he said, can't use the camera. You can only use your phone. And at this point I'm like, what's the difference? It's just a GoPro, not an enormous... Anyway, you abide by the rules, put the GoPro away. And so then we just use the phone. So we're recording with the phone as everyone else is doing. And then another man come up who I don't believe was an actual guard. He looked more to be a religious Sikh. He had an enormous sword. And he basically said to Siamara, you can't video here. Video at all, not with the phone or anything. So that kind of put an end to that. So yeah, if you're coming here with the intention of making a video, be cautious with that. Photos are certainly allowed, but I'm not clear on whether you can use a proper camera. Or again, other people were, but we were the only white people in there. And so it did feel a little bit like the eyes were on us from the guards. So take from that what you will, but nonetheless, a beautiful building. Very, very nice experience going inside. It is really peaceful. The people there are very friendly.
Yes.
But yeah, they do take it seriously. Sikhs are known as the warriors. Yeah. And so you certainly get that sense from them, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
So let's keep walking. We'll go up to here.
So maybe the memorial part from the outside, maybe?
Yeah, so...
It's a part of God where it's a big memorial with different galleries showing what happened here when the Sikhs were persecuted. So it's very interesting.
Well, it wasn't Sikhs.
Yeah,
No,
well,
it was just Indians.
Indian people in general.
Indians in general, because unfortunately, as you may or may not know, if you don't know, how do you not know? There's a lot of colonial history here in India, not just from Britain, but that's the most well-known. And, you know, the British did some good things here, but they did an enormous amount of bad things as well. And one of those happened here in Amritsar, where basically... a number of people from the British Army were trying to put down some protests that were going on. There was a big, You know, people were starting to push for independence. And so one of the protests was happening here, but unfortunately at that same moment, it was going on in a place where people were also celebrating. There was a festival or something going on. So in this one place, the British Army closed the exit. There was only one exit. I'm okay, thank you. There was only one exit from this place where the people were stood. They closed the exit and then began without warning to fire on the people and shoot guns at them. And they killed a large number of people, injured even more. And at the time, this British Army, the general or whatever he was, a lieutenant or something, he was lauded by the British. Basically, they put him down as someone who was a hero for stopping these protests. Now, to balance it out, there were some international people here who I believe were killed. But this guy was very, very, very bad. It's this way, isn't it? Over here. Yeah, very bad guy. And it's reported by the British that I think 379 were killed, but that's not accurate. It's pretty evident when you go inside there and you still see the bullet holes in the walls. Just how many people were killed, it's meant to be well over 1,000, so pretty brutal, pretty horrible part of history, and ultimately went on to speed up the calls for independence. Didn't happen for another almost 30 years, but basically that's kind of what instilled in people more I'm trying to think of the right word, the word's not coming to me, but basically a bigger push, more unity across the states of India for independence. And you can find this particular place here through the right. Now I'm not sure if we can actually go in. I don't think we can go in because I don't think they allow video recording, but this is the place here. Really nice place when you go in. It's very somber, you think? You try? So far so good. Told you, everyone else has had it. So what I will say is, people very often come up to me and they say, "Where are you from?" This is a place where I'm from Australia, mate. Much busier than it was when we came here yesterday.
Yeah.
Now, as you work your way through, you can go inside these rooms and it gives you a history of what happened here. And so you can see a spot here.
The bullet was fired at people from here. So people were around here when they were shooting the locals.
So you can see that it's an enclosed space all the way around. You've got these walls, you've got these buildings, basically. So people had nowhere to escape from. And unfortunately, one of the places that they tried to go to escape the fire, because bear in mind, the majority of the people here were just innocent bystanders. It was children, it was women. So they were all trying to escape this gunfire. And one of the places that they tried to go was inside a well. So people were jumping in, trying to escape the bullets. Very scary, you know, trying to imagine something like that. So we're going to make our way over to it and show you the well, because it's quite shocking. We were very surprised just how big this well is.
Yeah, there's one over there.
We've made it through without being asked for any selfies yet. On that point with the selfies, it is a real thing, and I just get in the habit now, if I'm quite honest. I don't want to be brutal or rude or bad-mannered, but I just say no. Because Siamara, what did you do yesterday?
I accepted a selfie because, I don't know, they were very friendly, and then once you say yes to one, somebody else came in.
Exactly.
And
That's
then
the
after
problem.
that, somebody else came in, and it was like no more.
There was a queue of about 10 people chasing us.
Especially guys. I think that is mostly guys.
Yeah. Wait.
Sorry. Okay.
Thank you. So this is the well.
This is one of the biggest wells that I ever seen in my life.
I'm not sure how much you'll be able to see because the windows are a little bit dirty. But walking around it, you get an idea of the scale.
I mean, you can see something.
I don't know whether you'll be able to see that.
So
Like,
yeah.
massive. I would say it's maybe 6 or 7 meters across, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
Mm.
but people were trying to jump into the well to try to save their lives. But once you jump in, there was no escape either because there was no way out. So it was like a death either way.
Just checking the time, how much time we've got left on the video. We've got 5 minutes. So let's make our way back out. I'd love to show you the whole thing, but we've already been here. You can come here yourself.
I know the way with the show.
Oh yeah, okay. I'll show you where the bullet holes are. You can see here where the pickpockets. The threat is real, but come on, use your common sense. The threat is real everywhere you go. You can get pickpockets in England, in France, in America. People will take advantage where people need to find a way of surviving. So just keep your things close to you.
So all the squares that you see are marks of bullets.
So bear in mind, just where we came from where the shots were being fired, it was far away. And you've got these holes here. One of these hits you, it's going to do an enormous amount of damage. You see like they're all up here, up on the wall. Even as far down there as well, there's another wall over there where they were. So you imagine a crowd of people in here, as it is now, big trouble.
Yeah.
Very sad.
It's quite sad, yeah.
Yeah, the stuff that the British did here, or at least some of the British, was pretty savage, to be honest. It always amazes me, actually, coming here, when people ask where you're from, and when you tell them, there's no animosity. Although there were a couple the other day who asked me where I was from, and I said, oh, the UK. And then he looked at me and he said, England. And he had this kind of like strained look on his face, and I had to kind of have a strained look on my face and bow my head and be like, yeah, it's like, I know the history here, I'm not responsible for it, but I'm very sorry. Because yeah, it's amazing that people here are not more, I wouldn't say bitter, because you know times move on, but you know people just accept that it's part of the past.
Yeah, but there is also other people who accept that the British did good things when they were here. So it things, you know, like the things balance it out.
Maybe
the
balance
end.
out,
Yeah.
So this is the memorial right here in the middle. I believe at certain times there must be some kind of, maybe you can get closer to it, or there's some kind of procession. I know yesterday when we came here, there was a bunch of chairs all laid out. I think they were putting them away, so there must have been some kind of either commemoration, or they use this place for some kind of ceremony, or I don't know, but it's a really nice place. It's very well kept, it's very clean. And the museum itself, like I say, there is a tour. You walk through all the different rooms and they give you an insight as to what happened here, and they give you a bit of education about the call for independence and why these protests were happening. And
It's time to
the alarm is going off. So
bye.
with that, again, if you've never watched one of these videos, we just do 45 minutes, that's it. There's no editing, no cuts. So on that note, we're going to leave it here. If you'd like to see some more from Amritsar, watch our other videos. But what do we say?
I wish you were here. See you in the next one.